So, this is Week 18 KFL end of season show here. This is Frank, not part of the league.
This is James, aka Playmakers.
And we're here to talk about MVP awards, dog awards, the best players, the worst players, whatever happened this season, what made or break our fantasy, and what came true, what didn't come true. We're going to talk about the best stuff.
Yeah, just a little award show to talk about some stuff. So let's get started on the awards then.
Now, our coolest thing, we talked about at the beginning of the season, and this prediction came true, even though we dogged on him a lot. Josh Allen did fulfill his destiny to make, what was his fantasy projected score?
377.1 was his projected score.
Beat it by 0.3. So, right on the money. Quarterback king.
And Josh Allen finished with the league high of fantasy points, so he is the fantasy MVP.
Again.
And technically, he was the fantasy MVP last year, too, if we were doing awards for last year. So that's 2 years in a row for Josh Allen.
So, I like Josh Allen. Let's see if he does anything in the playoffs. I hope he does. But fantasy, killing it. Take him. Carry him. It's your new favorite. I like him.
All right, and then let's get on with the dog. Now, I wanted to kind of limit the dog to just our first round picks, our first round draft picks. And based off of that, our number one dog is Christian McCaffrey.
It's a bust. He's been hurt 2 years in a row. It's like the Leonard Fournette syndrome that happened like 3 or 4 years ago when he was on the Jags?
Yeah.
Projected so high, boom, gets hurt.
He went 158 points under projection with only scoring, I didn't even put it on there because it was so low. It was like 70-something points.
But straight up, running backs, you cannot expect them 2 years in a row to be like the best thing ever. Because I swear, they're not consistent more than 3 years.
Last year, he also did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He only scored about 70 points. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, no matter how good he is when he's playing, he never plays.
You know what the thing is? We can't have skinny running backs anymore. Like Le'Veon or Christian. We need Derrick Henry's out there just mowing through that shit.
Jonathan Taylor's.
Fucking like the Bucks.
That's true.
Those are real running backs. Not this. Slip to the cracks, slap to.
Yeah, it's on all the jukes and stuff. And
I mean, it's cool, but.
Until you get hurt.
Too late.
Yep. All right. And then now here's another award that we came up with is the combo award. We're always talking about combos throughout the week.
Combo, where we're talking about the best quarterback, wide receiver combo. You know, there's that chemistry. You know, they have their favorite targets, where it's a tight end, wide receiver, but it's usually wide receiver. Mm-hmm. They do a lot of the work, and they get a lot of targets, sometimes 15 to 20. But we're looking at the best ones for this year. We talked about it. We're talking about the Breakfast Club. We're talking about Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, one of the best wide receivers of the season, and Matt Stafford working with him. What are we looking at for Meanie's favorite two combo?
Yep, and then that combo alone, the Matthew Stafford Cooper Kupp scored a total of 584 fantasy points for number one in the league.
All season, those two. Man.
That's crazy. That's a lot of points.
You're averaging about 31 a game, and you're averaging about 27 a game for Kupp. 31 on Stafford, 27 on Kupp. You're already 50 points in with just those two.
And it's good to have that combo because if he didn't have Kupp, then that means some other team would have had it, and they would have got all those points. All right. So that's it for the combos. So yeah, well, we always in the league we always talk about combos, but we're like doing it for fun and stuff. But now you're starting to see it's kind of a fantasy advantage to have a top combo.
You got to make sure that chemistry is there too, because even like we were talking about Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford all season long. Mm-hmm. As long as that chemistry was there before the season even started.
Yeah, like out of all these receivers, the ones that are kind of new or surprising to me is Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, well, I guess Mike Williams, because I totally thought Keenan Allen was.
We didn't even think the Chargers were going to have that kind of year this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they still look decent. Not like they're going to make a good job in the playoffs, or I don't think they're making the playoffs, but.
Yeah, I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs.
But, you know, there's a lot of promise there for the future.
I think they have a chance. It's like a lot of teams do at this last game. But
now, even with these players that don't make the combo, there's still monster quarterbacks. There's still monster wide receivers that are like 9. They're like, let's talk about Deebo Samuel. It's like one of the most improved players this year.
Yeah, Deebo Samuel. He was great, but you know what? He did get points off of the run game, too, so he didn't necessarily need his quarterback.
So he's been spreading it all on his own. That dude's a weapon. Just get him the freaking ball.
And then Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is actually higher better than some of these wide receivers.
He's a great tight end. He's a great tight end.
But yeah, Lamar Jackson just did so badly he didn't make the combo.
I know. But that's been his favorite target most of the season. I don't know where else.
That's anybody on the Ravens. Any quarterback on the Ravens' favorite target. It's
Yeah. No one else. Not this Hollywood Brown.
No.
Not this. Who else on there? Sammy Watkins. They want Mark Andrews. He's this big old target who's going to take the hit and got the ball.
They got a rookie on their team too who's doing okay. But yeah, it's all Mark Andrews.
Let's talk about like other fun players. Anybody else excite you? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Who's that guy off of the Chargers running back that like a lot?
Austin Eckler. Now Austin Eckler did do pretty good, but according to the ESPN projections, he was under projected. I was looking at his, and he was like 50 points under their projection.
I wonder why he was scored so high.
I don't know, and I can't believe he didn't score as much points. I can't remember how many points it was, but it was a lot lower than I thought it was.
And people like James Conner being the surprise running back of the year, especially after moving from Pittsburgh last year to over there.
Right, yeah, no one expected. A lot of people thought James Conner was kind of done.
10-12 touchdowns over there in Arizona, damn.
Yep. And just imagine if Derrick Henry played the whole season, he definitely would have been the MVP.
Oh, he should have been the MVP. That would have been awesome to have this running back as the MVP.
Yeah, because we don't want to give the quarterbacks all the credit and stuff.
He fucking killed him, dude. He was still like number 2 up until like week 14, 15.
Yep. And I guess that's pretty much it for the end of the season awards. I was going to look to see who was the most improved team, but I never got a chance to look. So.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the KFFL Fantasy Playoffs, and we're going to start off with round 1, which the first game was the Playmakers versus the Big Green Meanies. Big Green Meanies, last year's champion, goes down 118.5 to 91.1. The combo didn't work that day. You know what I'm saying?
Man, let's look at all these things that messed it up right now.
Okay.
So even then, quarterbacks showed up for Playmakers, 2 solid veterans, Brady and Rodgers. Matt Stafford having a rough game, even though they've been having a really good comeback over there since having a rough November.
Yeah, I think that was his only rough game, and then or his last rough game, and then since then he's been on fire.
And then we're using backup quarterbacks again over here.
Yeah, but for a backup, look at what he scored.
19 points, pretty good. I'm not saying he's bad, but it's just like
when you got Mark Andrews, all you gotta do is throw it up. You're gonna get at least 2 TDs.
My man, run game. Nick Chubb, Mixon, both of the best runners on both sides. Mixon all the way there, but they were playing against what? Man, they were held down that much against Cleveland?
Yeah.
Not Cleveland. Aaron Jones was held that much against Cleveland.
Yeah, they were playing against Baltimore, Mixon was. And so Baltimore's run defense is not very great lately.
But look at this. Wide receiver game, we could ask for a lot. Deebo Samuel doing what he does, got over 15 points. Deontay Jones not getting the work. Tyler Lockett not getting the work in. Cooper Kupp's still decent, not getting a lot. We did. Even with that Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford combo, we were talking about how they at least get you 30 points. Barely even bringing one player's worth of points at 17, 18.
Not this game. And he needed that combo. That's his main source of points right there.
That combo never showed up in the playoffs.
No, that just let him down.
We just bragged about it right now. Tight ends, nothing worth talking about.
Now, my defense, I stepped up with the defense. This is the first time I think I had a defense over 10 points.
Especially against the Giants. Easy win.
Yep. And his defense had a whopping -5 points.
Against Cincinnati. Ran all over them.
It says meetings go down. Let's talk about matchup number 2.
Matchup number 2, we have Nothing is Sacred taking the win over Oswald Moose at 106.5 to 101.8. We are here to talk about the pieces. Another rough set of quarterbacks. Herbert and Garoppolo still putting in the work, getting about 30 points between the two, but Derek Carr and Tagovailoa.
Yeah, all those quarterbacks scored under what their normal. Well, maybe
I don't know about
Garoppolo. I don't know what he averages, but I feel like he averages more than 13.
You want a quarterback with 15, 13 points, even if it's backup quarterback.
Yeah, Sacred's is definitely much favorable than over here.
I don't know. It's just rough winter games. A lot of people hurt. Justin Taylor barely taking up the points. Looking at Gibson barely making up the points.
Or James Robinson is a big blow because he got injured like on the second play of that game, and he was out the whole game. So that's something you can't predict.
I mean, the best players in the wide receiver over here is Justin Jefferson doing this thing as usual. But who's this guy in Miami?
Oh,
Waddle?
Yeah, you don't know James Waddle?
I don't know this guy.
He's the main wide receiver.
Jalen Waddle,
main wide receiver for Tua. And yeah, he plays well. That's definitely a good pick.
Our flex over here, A.J. Brown, though. A.J. Brown's been doing great this season. Real fun guy to watch play.
Definitely stepped it up since Derrick Henry's gone down.
And Mark Andrews, our favorite target over there in Baltimore.
18.5. He's got to be the number one tight end this year. Who else is scoring as much as Mark?
No one's doing that good.
No.
He's got to be the best one for fucking fantasy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got to be the best fantasy tight end this year.
Here's a weird one. Dolphins defense getting so high, 19 points against New Orleans.
Yeah, you know why? Because that game, New Orleans had a ton of people out because of COVID and injuries, and everybody knew it. And he happened to have the Dolphins, and that's a huge game for the defense.
That's such a weird thing to count against your team. Fucking have to look into COVID now.
Yeah, you gotta look into it. All right, so Playmakers, Sacred both win, go on to the championship round. And on the championship round, I pull it through 128.7 to 102.7. Here's a little funny thing. Somebody posted on the league. He said, "Isn't it funny that Playmaker started the KFFL show the same year he first wins the championship?" It needs to be looked into.
That's all it's info. All it's inserted info. The show's associated with the NFL. We get all the info now.
Yeah, maybe I'm reading so much in the stats. I'm getting lucky and putting it in there.
Start your own radio show. Call in. Be a guest. We'll do it sometime next year.
I mean, really, I think the reason I won is because of my quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
That you always gotta have a solid veteran, in my opinion. They always put up at least 40 points, if not 30 points between the two.
Yeah, and it just always comes through. And even though his quarterbacks had good play, mine had just a little bit better.
Well, let's talk about the matchups. We're looking at round 2. Playmakers taking a win, 128.7 against Nothing Secret at 102.7. Quarterbacks putting in the work, still doing good. Herbert, even Lance getting in there. We didn't even see Lance coming in there out of nowhere playing this week.
Yeah, well, because Garoppolo broke his finger or something like that. And yeah, I thought Trey Lance was going to do well. I actually thought he was going to do a little bit better than what he did. But
they make the playoffs. They might play a playoff game.
Yeah, he might. And I'd say give him a shot.
Hey, might as
well. Give him some experience and stuff.
Then we're looking at our run game. Our run game is not looking too fantastic except for Mitchell.
Yeah.
Over there in San Francisco. And then we got this guy over there on the Rams.
Sony Michel. So the Sony Michel is a pickup I've done a while ago, and I play him only when Derek, is it Derek? Derek Henderson? Yeah, I think that's his first name. And yeah, he was out this game, so I put him in, and yeah, he came through.
Lucky pickup.
I've had some Michelle for a few weeks, but yeah, that was a great pickup because Nick Chubb, who I traded for, has kind of been a bust for me. He only had like maybe 1 or 2 games.
Up until we talked about him,
yeah,
great. Then you picked him up, not so great.
Not so great.
But that whole Browns team imploded this season. It's weird.
But
we're looking at the wide receivers. Nothing to write home about. Deebo Samuel still putting in the work.
Deebo Samuel seems to be always the number 1 wide receiver, no matter what the matchup.
Get him the freaking ball.
Yeah, Deion Sanders, I drafted him late in the draft too, so that was a great pickup.
This is a great way to end this too. We got Gronkowski going against Mark Andrews. So.
Yep, and Gronk, wins.
Still wins.
Yep. So yeah, even though if I could do it over and I drafted Andrews over Gronk, I definitely would, because Andrews definitely more consistent
all season.
Yeah,
points. But now we're looking at the last pieces. Even like Prater getting 13 points as a kicker. Arizona just ran over Dallas in AT&T Stadium.
Yep. So that's it. I'm the KFFL champ. I didn't think for sure. Just 2-3 weeks before the end of the season, I was in the last place.
You weren't even gonna make it.
Remember, I think I called you and I was all pissed off or something because I was still in last place after I won. I won, didn't move up, and I was like, "This ain't going. This is over. I ain't gonna." But then. Some key wins, some key losses, got into playoffs, and that's all it takes. That's what I feel like.
This is the story of the season. Any given Sunday.
Yep.
Even as a bettor, a lot of the weirdest bets happen this year. Any given Sunday. We got a lot of fun players to watch. Shit, we even saw that guy come out from the Jets whip ass. Who did he whip ass against? Mike White?
Yeah. I don't
Against
remember.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's right.
You got the weirdest shit happening this year.
And now Cincinnati's going to playoffs hot, on fire.
And they're in the keys of the AFC North.
Yeah. But the Jets, that one Sunday, Jets had their number.
You know, it makes sense, man. Football's broken this year, but football's very awesome to watch.
Well, just like the Jags beating the Bills 9-6. What week was that? Like, the Bills couldn't score a touchdown.
Oh, Josh Allen versus Josh Allen?
Yeah. That Josh Allen, number one MVP, shut down that game against the Jags.
I think the beginning of the season set the tone when Pittsburgh ended up beating the Bills.
Yeah, that too.
This is going to be a weird year. Because even that second half, nobody scored.
Like, on the AFC side, it's kind of up for grabs to me, I think, who's going to win. Because the top teams, like just like the Chiefs went down, like these top teams keep going down on games I don't think they're going down. But on the NFC side, it seems to be
you can read the NFC.
Yeah, especially the top guys. Yeah, the top guys seem to continue to win no matter what. Buck almost lost to the Jets, but they didn't. So I guess that's it for KFFL.
That's it. We'll just talk sports after this sometime. We'll be talking basketball until football's back. Baseballs, whatever you're into.
And then, I guess we'll just keep chugging along until next year. Next year we'll try some different things.
Sports is back. Sports is back to normal, y'all. It's like we're finally getting games again. We have one extra game. Fucking Antonio Brown's crazy again. We are back to normal.